What if you could retire years earlier than you planned and still end up with a bigger Social Security check for the rest of your life? That's not a trick, it's a strategy, and it has a name. It's called a Social Security bridge. Now, let me ask you the question that trips almost everyone up first. When I say wait, what do you think I'm asking you to wait for? Now, here's the part most people get backwards. The bridge is not about waiting to retire. You retire early on your schedule. The waiting is only about when you turn your Social Security on. So why does that matter so much? Well, look at how the benefit actually works. You claim it the first year you can, and what happens to the size of your check? You lock in the smallest one for good. Now wait, and what does your check do every year you hold off? It keeps climbing all the way up to age 70. Same person, same work record. A very different paycheck based only on when you start Social Security. Picture a simple timeline. You stop working early. For the years in between, you still need income. Then later, the biggest possible Social Security check switches on and helps to carry you the rest of the way. The bridge is simply how you pay yourself during those in-between years. Now, here's where almost every version of this plan goes wrong. Search this online, and what you will see nearly every article tell you to do: spend down your 401k to cover the gap. Live off your savings until the bigger check kicks in. And it can work. But let me ask you something about the timing. Those gap years, your early 60s, where do they fall in your retirement? Right at the very start. And that's the worst possible moment to be selling investments to pay your bills. Isn't it a downturn early before your money has any chance to recover? You retire into a bad market, sell shares every month as prices fall, and can you see how that could do lasting damage? The kind of damage that's hard to ever fully recover from? There's even a name for it. It's called sequence of returns risk. It just means the order of the returns matters enormously in those first several years. A few bad years early while you're selling can hurt you far more than the same years later. And following the drain your 401k bridge walks you straight into it. Now, this is the part almost no one teaches. What if you didn't have to fund the gap by selling investments at all? You can cover those years with protected dollars instead. Money set aside to do one job, cover a defined stretch of time, no matter what the market does. Notice what that job actually is. The gap is a defined window, not a lifetime. Why does that limit matter so much? Think about the difference. Locking money away for the rest of your life is a big commitment. Covering a handful of bridge years is a much smaller commitment, which is exactly why this can fit people that a lifetime commitment might not. You fund the bridge with protected money, you leave your growth investments alone to recover and compound, and you let the bigger check turn on later. Is the wait actually worth it? Well, let's look at what it buys you. For a typical couple, bridging the gap and delaying Social Security can add a substantial inflation-adjusted raise to their combined checks for the rest of their lives. And it's a raise that keeps on going as long as either of them is living. Let's put this in simple terms. If you were to buy that much guaranteed income another way, how much of your own money do you think you'd have to set aside? Wouldn't it require a large sum? So waiting to claim Social Security buys you the equivalent of a sizable asset, and you get it by funding a short protected bridge instead of handing over that whole amount up front. Now, there's one more reason this matters, and it's for couples especially. Let me ask you the question most couples never talk through. When one of you passes, what happens to the two Social Security checks coming home? The household keeps the larger one and loses the smaller one. The surviving spouse sees their income drop in that same year. Then a second separate thing happens, and it shows up the following tax year. The survivor usually files taxes as a single person for the first time, often on lower income, after losing the lower Social Security income, and could easily see taxes rise. Two different facts landing in 2 different years. People call that the widow's penalty, and it hits widowers exactly the same way. Now, what does delaying the higher earner's check do for the one who's left behind? It makes the check the survivor keeps as large as it can possibly be. Is the bridge right for everyone? Being straight with you? No. It fits someone who with enough savings to cover the gap comfortably. And the health and family history to enjoy that bigger check long enough for the wait to pay off. Now, if money is tight, or the longevity outlook is short, claiming earlier can be the better call. Now, this is a conversation, it's not a rule. And let me leave you with the question that matters most. What is the bigger check really for? A larger protected income was never the goal by itself. It's what it pays for. This is the whole idea behind protected lifetime income. The essentials are covered for life. The travel, the experiences that you waited decades to take. And most of all, the memories with the people that you love. The trips your grandkids will still be talking about years from now. That's what the weight is really protecting. One last thing worth saying plainly. The standard advice isn't out to get you. It's just the playbook that everyone copies. And why would that playbook skip the protected version? Ask yourself who makes money teaching you to protect the bridge. You don't have to take any of it on faith. Would you rather see the structure for yourself? Before any call, you can run your own income floor in a couple of minutes. No name, no email, just your numbers. And when you're ready to see how a bridge would look for your situation, there's a link below to book a call with no pressure. Retire early, wait for the bigger check, and protect the years in between.